So for clarity, you said that your missiles cannot reach the United States by design, that you do not want to reach the United States, but you also said it would be necessary as a defensive vehicle, that you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I can confirm, yes.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us. They are U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack. Why don't you, recognize this fact? We are under the attack by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact. And I hope that, and I'm sure that people would understand that. We are not the one who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves.
This is my video update on this Sunday midday, March the 1st, coming to you from Limassol, Cyprus. Beware the Ides of March. Let's talk about some news. And the big news story is the assassination, the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei, who was killed in what is reported as an airstrike into his compound, his workplace, as he was carrying out his various duties. The United States, they pinpointed his location, or they confirmed that he was at his workplace. And the reports are that Israel then fired the missiles that killed the Iranian leader. Along with Khamenei, reports claim that his son-in-law was also killed, as well as his daughter and his grandson. From the New York Times, the CIA helped pinpoint a gathering of Iranian leaders, then Israel struck. That is what the NYT is reporting. Khamenei was 86 years old. The New York Times also branded him as a hardline cleric. In my opinion, he was very moderate. In my opinion, he was not hardline. The problem, perhaps the problem is that, at least for the United States and for Israel, is that we may now get a hardline cleric, a cleric who will push to enrich uranium to the levels of a nuclear weapon. Khamenei, he enriched up to 60%, I believe. But then he had the fatwa and the orders saying that Iran would not pursue a nuclear weapon. Now you might get a supreme leader who will pursue Iran getting a nuclear weapon. The other scenario is that the killing of Khamenei may push some leadership in Iran to agree to a deal with the United States, to agree to a capitulation deal with the United States. That is how Trump is seeing it. Trump told CBS News that he believes that now it will be easier to reach a diplomatic solution with Iran. Diplomatic solution in Iran remains possible and much easier now. That's a direct quote from CBS News from President Trump. Trump also told CBS News that Iran is getting beat up badly. That's also a direct quote. He said it's a great day for this country, a great day for the world, as he was describing the U.S. Operation Epic Fury. And he also told CBS News that Iran's retaliation was expected, but less than we thought. We thought it'd be double. Trump claimed that roughly 40 Iranian officials were reportedly killed and no U.S. casualties. Iran claims that there were many U.S. casualties. I believe Iran put the number at 200. The United States is saying 0 casualties. Israel also put out a statement saying that so far, at least in the first days of strikes, 40 top-level Iranian officials have been killed. As far as the U.S. casualties, I would guess that it's not 200. I don't think it's anywhere close to 200. My guess would be, and this is just a guess, that there have been casualties, but most likely you're talking about, at least from the first day, maybe single-digit casualties, and I would say you're looking at contractors, mercenaries, advisors, people like that. Casualties that have occurred in the conflict in Ukraine, right? Casualties that the United States can easily cover up. In the conflict in Ukraine, the casualties of mercenaries and contractors and all of these people has probably been in the thousands, maybe even the tens of thousands. But the collective West has been able to cover this up pretty easily. So my guess, and this is just a guess, I would say that it's definitely not 200, and that it's not 200. I can't say definitely. But it's probably some casualties in single digits, of which the United States can easily cover it up, because these are probably advisors and contractors, mercenaries, these types. But anyway, these are the statements from Trump to CBS News, and Israel is also putting out a statement of 40 Iranian top-level officials who have been killed on day one. But the big one is Khamenei. That is a big one, and we'll see what happens now. Obviously, there is a succession plan that is in place, and right now you have, I believe, a lawyer. If I read this morning that a lawyer has been put in place to run the day-to-days of what the supreme leader would have been doing. And I imagine you're going to get an announcement fairly soon of who will replace Khamenei. Probably someone younger, definitely someone younger, and maybe even someone more hardline. That could be a problem for the United States and for Israel. A temporary governing council has also been formed, which will perform the duties of the supreme leader until the election of Khamenei's successor. So protests broke out in Iraq and in Pakistan, where there is a large Shia population in Pakistan, in Karachi, where there's a very large Shia population. And protests broke out in front of the U.S. Consulate. There are reports that the protesters did break through the U.S. consulate or embassy, consulate, I believe, in Karachi, and they broke through, and then the authorities fired at the protesters. There have been casualties, I believe 8 casualties from these protests that broke out in Karachi. But so far, that's been the extent of the blowback or the reaction to Khamenei's assassination. Iran, Pezeshkian has said that Iran now has the right to retaliate to this assassination. Yes, they do under international law, I imagine. They definitely have the right to retaliate to this assassination of their leader. So Trump posted on Truth Social, Iran just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever been hit before. Harder than they have ever been hit before. Okay, they better not do that. However, because if they do, we will hit them with a force that has never been seen before. That's in all caps. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Did I read that correctly? Iran just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever been hit before. Okay. So that was Trump's post on Truth Social. We are getting reports that Iran is planning a very big strike today into the bases in the region. They have been also launching strikes, drones, missiles into the U.S. bases, but also into Israel as well. Though we don't have many images or videos of what's happening in Israel as far as the Iranian strikes. Everything is on lockdown, I guess, with regards to the media publishing images of what is happening in Israel. So we just don't know. As far as the strikes on the surrounding areas, well, everything is getting hit. Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Dubai, we're getting a lot of images, a whole lot of images of drones and missiles that are hitting Dubai, that are being brought down, and the debris is hitting various areas in Dubai. The flights have been canceled. All the flights have been grounded, at least until, I believe, March 2nd is the latest announcement from Emirates. So Dubai is getting hit especially hard. A lot of people are wondering, why is Iran hitting the surrounding bases? Why are they targeting Dubai? It's a good question. My guess would be that Iran knows that there are U.S. officials, Israeli officials, advisors, CIA operatives, intel, that they're all over the place in Dubai. And so they're probably targeting where they're located. I actually believe they hit an office, a CIA office, I want to say in Doha. It was either in Doha or Dubai. But this is what Iran claims, that they hit a CIA office that was located in the region. So that's why they're hitting Dubai. That would be my thoughts on that. A lot of attacks into Dubai. It's destabilizing the entire region, these attacks. And you know what else it's doing? I'll tell you something else that these attacks are doing. They're causing the insurance companies to not insure the ships that pass through the Strait of Hormuz. All of this chaos, all of these attacks, this instability is making it impossible for the ships to get insured so that they can move through the Straits of Hormuz. I'm walking back and forth on these rocks. I just don't want to slip and fall. So I'm being very careful as I do this video. But yeah, that could be another reason why Iran is firing all of these missiles and drones into the surrounding area. You don't need to close the Straits of Hormuz. You don't have to close it down. All you have to do is make it so that it becomes impossible for, it's a dead fish, impossible for the insurance companies to insure the tankers. Here's a post from Shanaka 86. I'm not going to read you the entire post. You can actually read the entire article. It's a full article and it's on his Substack, but he also posted much of the article on X. He says 20 million barrels of oil passed through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. Today the number may be zero. Not because Iran mined the water, not because a tanker was hit, because Lloyd's of London picked up the phone. War risk underwriters began canceling policies for Strait transits hours after Operation Epic Fury launched. And then he goes on to say that none of that matters. Aircraft carriers cannot force an underwriter to rewrite a policy. Tomahawks cannot lower a premium. The most powerful Navy in human history cannot make a Lloyd's syndicate decide that a VLCC transiting Iranian coastal waters represents an acceptable risk on a Saturday afternoon when missiles are landing in Dubai. There you have it. Iran figured out something the Pentagon still has not. You do not need to close a strait. You just need to make it uninsurable. And there are some comments which say that all Trump has to do is pick up the phone and tell Lloyd's to insure the tankers and they'll do it. I don't think so. I don't think it works like that. I think even if Trump picked up the phone and he called up Lloyd or he called up 008 Stammer and said, start insuring these tankers, I still think Lloyd's would say, no chance. Find someone else to insure the tankers. The United States could insure the tankers, I guess. But there you have it. I think he nails it on this post on X, and the confirmation that smashing Dubai in this way, causing this chaos and disruption and fear in Dubai and in the surrounding areas, makes the insurance companies very freaking nervous. So they're saying, no way are we going to insure, to underwrite all of the oil that transits the Straits of Hormuz. So from that aspect, Iran doesn't really have to do anything militarily. They just need to keep on launching the missiles in the surrounding area. So Putin, he actually put out a message on Khamenei's assassination, and he sent his condolences to the Iranian president Pezeshkian, and Putin said that killing of Iran's supreme leader is a cynical murder that violates all standards of human morality and international law. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the negotiations between Russia and the United States is pretty much done. I'm just going to sit down here next to the dead fish. And yeah, that's the message from Putin. The negotiations are over. It's impossible to negotiate now with the United States, to trust the United States in any negotiations. Just like they did last time with Iran when they were negotiating and they were about to reach technical talks. They did the same thing this time around. They're negotiating. They're about to enter technical talks. And you have this big strike. Last time it was just a 12-day war. This time I think you've got an all-out war. Or you got a full-on regime change, decapitation operation, which may succeed. You know, we're only one day into this. If the Iranian government can hold together over the next day or two, then it's going to be in a better position as the week comes in. This weekend was the hard part. But if it doesn't hold together, then you could be seeing a regime change. I mean, we've said this on the Duran for a while now. We've said this on the Duran. Brian Berletic put out a video today, and he said the same exact thing. This is all about, it's about regime change, and the U.S. is going for the quick regime change, decapitation strike. They feel that now that they've gotten rid of Khamenei and they've gotten rid of other top officials, I believe they also killed the Iranian chief of staff. Anyway, they feel like if they can knock out the top officials in Iran, then they can get the people to rise up and to remove the government, to get a coup going. This is what they've done in so many places over the past, whether it's Libya or Syria. Syria, they had HTS and ISIS in place. But anyway, they destabilized the central government. Assad got away, but still they decentralized the central government. And then they have people in place on the ground. We'll see if they have people in place and on the ground in Iran to get the protests moving so that they can take power. We'll see. We'll see tonight. Tonight will be another big night if Iran can make it without any big protests breaking out, then as the week goes along, as time passes, they end up being in a better position. If you see protests, if they're not able to get on top of the protests, if there are protests and they're not able to get on top of those protests, then the Iranian government is in big trouble. Absolutely. There were protests, pro-government protests in Iran, gatherings. Tens of thousands of people gathered after the announcement of Khamenei's assassination. They gathered, and these were pro-government rallies. Tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands of Iranians. So you're seeing the opposite, actually. You're seeing the support for the government. There still is cohesion and support for the government. It may even be stronger now after this assassination. You did see some images of very small protests. Actually, I saw one or two videos of protests, celebrations in Iran of the killing of Khamenei. And these were confirmed. These videos were confirmed as authentic, but we're talking very small. I looked at the crowds, and it was maybe 100 people at most, while the pro-government rallies have been in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. But the collective West will never show you those videos. So there we are. That's the situation with Iran. Israel issued a statement today saying that they are now in a position to open up an air bridge and strike Tehran. So that was the announcement from Israel, and you are seeing strikes into Tehran right now. This Sunday, they are starting to strike into the center of Tehran. So it looks like the United States and Israel have managed to create some sort of safe air corridor or air bridge, so that now they can hit into the center of Tehran. So Elon Musk, he posted on X, another one bites the dust. What a dumb post from Elon Musk. What a dumb post. When it comes to geopolitics, I have to say Elon Musk is very unimpressive. His knowledge of geopolitics, very, very unimpressive. Another one bites the dust. Is that where we are, Elon? Fair game now to go after leaders? Is that where we are? Is that the new rules-based order? Have we had a change in the rules-based order handbook? Elon Musk, globalist. He's a globalist. Of course he's a globalist. He's almost a trillionaire. He's deeply, deeply intertwined and embedded with the military-industrial complex. Of course he's a globalist. Don't be fooled by the whole buying Twitter, all of that stuff, buying X. Big-time globalist. But just a dumb post for him to make. So now we can kidnap leaders. We can kill leaders. I mean, is that it, Elon? Is that where we are? Keep in mind that Putin, that Trump allegedly, most likely, tried to also take out the Russian president, right? With the drones into Valdai. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to go after leadership the way the Trump administration is going after leadership. This has become a policy of theirs. It's not good. Not a good thing, Elon. You should probably rethink that post. Anyway, it's probably getting a lot of views for him, so he'll get a lot of views, and he'll get a lot of ad revenue from all the views that he's getting from that post. Ukraine, the official X account on Ukraine, said nothing beats the death of a dictator. Yeah, okay. A dictator. The definition of a dictator is someone who's unelected, right? Okay, interesting post from the official X account of Ukraine. So should we shift gears and talk about Ukraine, I guess, before we return to Iran and what's going on there? The EU, we'll talk about the EU, we'll talk about Kamala Harris. Ursula, Kamala, stunning and brave, Macron, they will feature in today's clown world. But before we get there, let's do a quick story on Budanov, the CIA android robot known as Kirill Budanov, who stated yesterday that Russia is ready to accept security guarantees for Ukraine from the USA. That is what Budanov said, that Russia is ready to accept US security guarantees for Ukraine as they're negotiating. Budanov said the negotiation process is going well. Many things have been agreed on. He said even the role of the military and the territorial disputes and how the military will act with the frozen territory in Donbass. He said all of that has been agreed on, and then he went on to say that Russia is okay with U.S. security guarantees. He said, "I hope that their success will become our victory," there in reference to the negotiations, the compromise that Kirill Budanov said is pretty much complete. So the military has agreed on the territory issue. Russia has agreed on security guarantees, and there you have it, according to Budanov. Budanov, the CIA guy of Ukraine, right? The CIA grabbed him in 2014, 2015, and they said, this guy's good. Let's take him in and teach him. That's what they did. So that's Budanov. That was his statement. I wouldn't consider it a serious statement from Budanov, but I thought it was newsworthy. Should we do a clown world? Let's see here. Let's do a clown world. It's going to rain. It is going to rain. All right. Let's get through this before the rain begins. So, clown world number one, Kamala Harris, who posted on X, Donald Trump is dragging the United States into a war the American people do not want. Let me be clear, I am opposed to a regime change war in Iran, and our troops are being put in harm's way for the sake of Trump's war of choice. Nonsense. Kamala Harris, you would have done the same exact thing if you were president. Same exact thing. There would have been zero difference between Kamala and Trump. She put out a whole statement on this as well. It's on her X account. If anyone is bored and wants to read her full statement, I don't think it really matters much. But anyway, that's Kamala Harris. Ursula, she posted on X, the EU Commission chief. She said, following the ongoing situation in Iran, I am convening a special security college on Monday. For regional security and stability, it is of the utmost importance that there is no further escalation through Iran's unjustified attacks on partners in the region. Unjustified. Unprovoked, full scale. Unprovoked, full scale. It's unjustified for Iran to retaliate. Unjustified, according to Ursula. But on Monday, when the weekend is done, she is going to put together a security college. It's a college, a security college. Ursula, Professor Ursula, is going to convene on Monday, because it's the weekend, right? She has to rest and relax. She's going to put together a security college. So a lot of people are making fun of Ursula and the fact that she's going to wait until Monday. There's a war breaking out in the Middle East. We're probably at the very beginnings of World War III. We're in World War III. But we're probably at the very, very, very beginnings of all of World War III. Everything is being set up, right? But she doesn't want to be disturbed over the weekend, and a lot of people are making fun of her on X. I'll tell you why this is not important for her, why she doesn't want to take time off of her weekend relaxation to deal with what's going on in the Middle East. Not that she can really do anything, right? But anyway, The reason that she's not going to do anything over the weekend, that she wants to wait until Monday, is really simple. It's really simple. Reason number one: there are no slush funds, right? No funds have been created for this whole Iran thing. So if there's no funds that have been created for this whole Iran thing, why should the EU or why should Ursula do anything, right? No funds, no reason to do anything. So that's reason number one. Reason number two: there's no Ukraine in the equation, at least not yet, right? The EU will work on weekends. Ursula and the EU officials and the leaders of Europe, the collective West, they will absolutely work on a Saturday and a Sunday. They'll stay up all night if they have to and work, if it has to do with Project Ukraine. If it has nothing to do with Project Ukraine, and so far this has nothing to do with Project Ukraine, not directly, but there's no reason to work on a weekend. So that's the reasons why she can wait until Monday. No funds, no Ukraine. So why should we do anything until Monday? But stunning and brave, she is going to work. Stunning and brave is not like Ursula. She will get some work done this weekend on what's going on in the Middle East. She posted on X, "I will convene an extraordinary Foreign Affairs Council via video link on Sunday to address Iran and the rapidly unfolding events across the Middle East. I have been in contact with our partners in the Gulf countries. The Iranian regime's indiscriminate attacks against its neighbors carry the risk of dragging the region into a broader war, and we condemn this. It is essential that the war does not spread any further. The Iranian regime has choices to make." That's an ultimatum from Stunning and Brave. The Iranian regime has choices to make. Who is she going to talk to via video link? So she's going to get on Zoom and talk to who exactly? Who is Stunning and Brave going to talk to? Other foreign ministers of the EU. She's going to call up Sikorsky. Yeah, she'll call up Sikorsky and she'll say, "Hey, Radislav, can you get on Zoom for about 5 to 10 minutes so we can talk about the Middle East?" And Sikorsky's going to say, "Is there a fund or anything that's been created for this?" She's going to say no. He's going to say, "Don't bother me." Anyway, that's Stunning and Brave. And then we have Macron, completely unrelated to what's going on with Iran. He posted on X, "A major blow to the Shadow Fleet." Or maybe it is related to Iran. I guess it's all connected. "A major blow to the Shadow Fleet in the North Sea. Our French Navy helicopters helped last night in the boarding by Belgium forces of an oil tanker under international sanctions. Europeans are determined to cut off the sources of funding for Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine by enforcing sanctions." No one cares, Macron. No one cares. No one cares about your announcement of boarding a tanker. That's part of the Shadow Fleet, which are tankers not insured by Lloyd's of London, right? These are the tankers that are not insured by Lloyd's of London. This is what's called a Shadow Fleet. So I guess all the tankers now that are in the area of Iran and are not going through the Straits of Hormuz or have been told to go elsewhere, and Lloyd's of London does not insure. I guess all of those tankers are Shadow Fleet tankers, right? Okay. So anyway, that's Macron's post on X, talking up the seizing of a Shadow Fleet tanker. Russia will deal with this. They will deal with this in time. Anyway, that's little Napoleon. And there was a report, there was news claiming that Iran fired two missiles towards Cyprus, where I am right now, towards the UK base here in Cyprus, sovereign UK overseas territory down that way. That's why I'm pointing down there, down that way, way down that way. But then Healy, the Secretary of Defense, he spoke to British media and he said that Iran fired missiles in the direction of Cyprus, but he does not believe that they were fired at Cyprus. He says that 2 missiles were just fired in that direction. So, I mean, that was his statement. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. I will leave it there. VidDuran.locals.com. We're on X, we're on Rumble, we are on Telegram. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch. Link is in the description box down below. Go to our Substack as well, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Take care.